A week before my wedding, everything unraveled. My fiancé, Derek, had gone on a family trip to Miami with his parents. When he came back, he was distant, cold, even, and told me he thought we should take a break. I didn't argue. I just smiled, handed him a folder, and said, "That's funny, because I just got some information on that trip." Inside were photos and a report from a private investigator, pictures of Derek, his parents, and a woman I'd never met, enjoying what looked a lot like a double date. We were supposed to get married in Savannah. Everything was ready: the venue, the dress, the cake, the guest list. We'd spent months planning. I thought I knew what I was walking into. Derek and I had been together for 3 years. He wasn't perfect, but he made me laugh, and I really believed we were solid. His parents, Ruth and Walter, never liked me. I wasn't from a wealthy background, didn't care for status games, and apparently that made me disposable. When Derek left for Miami, I had a weird feeling. He was almost too eager to go. Then, out of nowhere, my best friend C, who lives in Miami, called me from work. She said she'd seen Derek with his parents and a young blonde woman, all cozied up in a VIP section at her bar. Ruth and Walter were laughing with her, treating her like royalty. Derek wasn't pushing her away either. It hit me instantly. This wasn't a harmless trip. They brought Derek out there to meet someone new. I was crushed. But instead of falling apart, I got focused. I hired a PI that same weekend. By Monday, I had the first batch of photos. By Wednesday, I had a full report: meals, shopping, poolside drinks, every moment documented. And in every single one, Derek was glued to that girl, with his parents cheering it on. I waited. I didn't say a word. When Derek returned, he came to my place and casually said we should take a break. That's when I slid the folder across the table. He looked at the photos, horrified. Then, like a bad sitcom, Ruth and Walter walked in carrying wedding planners, acting like nothing was wrong. Derek stared at them, furious. "What the hell is this?" he asked. Ruth tried to play it off. "Don't be dramatic," she said. But the truth was all over that folder. And when I asked Derek if he had gone along with it, he just said, "I wanted to keep the peace." That's when I laughed, loud and sharp. They weren't just meddling. They orchestrated this entire thing. And Derek? He didn't stop them. But it didn't end there. My phone buzzed again. Another text from C. Madison. The girl from Miami was still in town, bragging at a bar that the wedding was never meant to happen. Ruth had promised her Derek would be single soon. That's when it all clicked. She wasn't just there by chance. She was invited, incentivized, and paid to get close to him. I confronted them all again. I asked Ruth directly, "How much did you pay her?" She didn't even deny it. "Just a little incentive," she said. That's when I decided this wasn't ending quietly. I invited all of them, Derek, his parents, and Madison, to the wedding venue for a final planning meeting. I also brought my laptop. While they sat around the reception table, I projected the PI report photos on a giant screen. Poolside smiles, drinks with Madison, a kiss on the cheek. Then came the video. Ruth telling Madison, "Once this little wedding blows over, you and Derek will have all the time in the world." The silence was deafening. Ruth tried to downplay it, but Madison, bless her ego, admitted it all, said she was brought in to be the upgrade. And Derek? All he said was, "Maybe we should all go our separate ways." That's when I knew. He never planned to fight for me. He let all of this happen. So I packed up my laptop and told them this was the last time they'd ever see me. Within days, word got out. Madison couldn't keep quiet. She even posted Instagram stories with hashtags like future missuses and #upgrade. Ruth tried to spin it as mutual, but no one bought it. Guests backed out. Their social circle turned cold. Derek and Madison lasted 3 weeks. Once she realized there was no wedding, no status, and no money, she was gone. As for me, it hurt, I won't lie, but the heartbreak faded. I wasn't married to a coward. I wasn't tied to in-laws who thought I was beneath them. Instead of crying in my wedding dress, I threw a non-wedding party with my friends. We smashed the cake with forks, belted karaoke, and laughed until midnight. And somewhere in the middle of that chaos, I realized I wasn't sad anymore. I was free, and that felt better than any wedding ever could.